So today I'm going to be doing a gardening video. It's going to cover 3 topics. First one is how to start your garden indoors. Second is how to transplant that garden outside into your real garden. And then third is, of course, how to get a lot of produce out of a very small garden outside. And before we get into that, check out these gardening shoes. I've been wearing them all summer. I'm obsessed with them. I know they look kind of funny with the socks, but they're super comfortable. And then second, look at how beautiful it is outside. It is a perfect fall day here in Kentucky. It's been so pretty. I've been sitting outside all day while the boys are playing with their bikes and just playing outside, and I've been sitting in my rocking chairs. So anyway, let's get to the video. Now, before we dive into the video, I want to talk about these clogs really quick because I am obsessed with them and I've been wearing them all summer. They're from a company called Emerging Green. It's a family-owned business that focuses on prioritizing functionality and sustainability of home and outdoor products. These shoes are so comfortable. I have owned a lot of gardening clogs in my life, but none of them have been as comfortable as these. I can wear these all day and my feet don't hurt. They're really durable, they're waterproof, they're super lightweight so your legs don't get tired carrying them around all day. And honestly, it's just a really nice garden clog. I'll put the link in the description below for their website so you can check them out because they have a lot of other really good products too. All right, now let's get to the gardening. I am starting my seeds for my garden. I've got these, I've got them labeled on what's going in them. And I'm going to put seeds in each one. When they get big enough, I will replant them outside of my garden, and some of them are going to be in my containers. I am out here with my little helper, and we got all the dirt into our little spots, and then we'll put our seeds in each one. I usually actually put 2 or 3 seeds in each one because not all of them will germinate, and then if there's extra sprouts that come out, I just pull out the extras and just leave one. You're doing a good job, Elias. That's okay. Now we're going to put the seeds in. And they're done. I got green beans, cucumbers, watermelon, sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. What else do I have? I have a hybrid tomato in there. Oh, and bell peppers. And I think that's everything. And tonight I'm gonna plant my green beans outside. They've grown a lot since they've been in the house. So we're gonna get them planted. I already put in my cooked eggshells into the soil and tilled it up real good just by hand and with a shovel. And I've got some horse manure here from my horse tiger lily. I like to make mounds with the horse manure and then plant these directly into the horse manure right on top of the soil. So there's lots of nutrients into what they're being planted in. It's the next day and the green bean plants look great. I put in these poles for the green beans because these are climbers, they're not bush beans, so they need somewhere to go. So all I have to do now is just get some metal wire and put those together to make it kind of like a teepee, but it's done and they look great. And since these are climbers, as they get tall, what I'll do is come out and just lean them up against the pole like that, and then they'll naturally start climbing up on their own. Now I'm gonna work on putting in my tomato plants. Here we are, exactly a month after I planted all these little tiny plants into this tiny garden behind my garage here. It is flourishing. Look at these tomato plants. They are so big. You can see where I put the coffee grounds and the eggshells as fertilizer onto the soil. And this is kind of funny. See these extra tomato plants that are not in the tomato cages? Those are actually seeds from last year from tomatoes that just fell that germinated into plants. So I got lots of tomato plants. They're getting really big. And then over here, my bell peppers are looking really good. Green beans are looking amazing. You can see how they naturally just start climbing up the poles. It's incredible to just kind of watch the plants grow and then of course produce vegetables. And Here's another tomato plant. These are my cucumbers. They're looking fantastic. So it just looks really good. All my plants are growing and they'll be producing vegetables before no time. I've even got blooms on my tomato plants so far. Right there's one. All right, happy gardening. Look at my little tiny plentiful garden. It is July 18th, and we've been getting produce off this for about a week now. This tomato plant over here is 5 feet tall. Look at my green beans. You can't even see the teepees that they're on anymore. My cucumbers, there's just everything. Look at this massive tomato plant over here. It's little cherry tomatoes, and this thing is producing them by the hundreds. They're little yellow ones, lemon drops. Look at all my celebrity tomatoes. Got tons of those. I'm getting lots of bell peppers. Lots of green beans from my green bean plants. I just picked a few. Here's a nice one. Cucumbers over here. We're getting tons of cucumbers. Look at those guys. And what I did with this was just made a teepee and just put a little bit of twine around it every foot. And then it just naturally climbs up it. Look at all those green beans. I actually ended up adding this pole in the middle to see how high it would get. That's a 16-foot pole. And as you can see, the green beans stretched all the way up to the top, and they're still reaching to go even longer. Such a simple little garden, but it produces a lot of vegetables. Look at this beautiful bucket of tomatoes. We get this amount of tomatoes off our tomato plants pretty much every other day. It's about 5 pounds of tomatoes every other day. So it's definitely a misconception if someone says you have to have a lot of room and a lot of tomato plants to grow a bunch of tomatoes, because just on our few tomato plants, this is what we get. And look at all these cucumbers. This is just what I picked this morning. There's like 10 in there. So we usually eat 1 or 2 fresh a day, but with all these, since we have so many right now, I'm actually gonna can some pickles today. Look at these hundreds of yellow tomatoes that are coming in. Ooh, look at all my Romas. Lots down in there. Holy cow. You see all my yellow tomatoes, bud? Yeah. It's good stuff. We just got back from a 10-day end of summer vacation, and as you can tell, my garden is coming to its end, but man, it's producing a lot of final tomatoes here at the end of summer. I got hundreds of my yellow pear tomatoes coming in. Gosh, these are so good. I'm gonna eat one right now. And lots of Romas. Tons of those. So I'm gonna make a bunch more pasta sauce tonight. The pasta sauce that I make is absolutely delicious. It's my mom's recipe. So I'll post a link in the description below so you can watch that and make some pasta sauce if you want to make it, if you've got tons of extra tomatoes like I do. Just got them picked. Look at this deliciousness. You are looking at, yeah, you can water my plants. You are looking at 8 pounds of freshly picked tomatoes. And all of these yellow ones that you see here, this is off of 1 plant. Just 1 tomato plant. It is October 1st, and my garden is finally coming to an end. I already tore out all my tomato plants. Now I just got to tear out my green beans and cucumber plants over there. But here's all the tomato plants I pulled out. They're going to go right into my compost pile. And then this is our last picking of vegetables here. And really, that's about it. I'm sad to see the garden end because I love gardening in the summertime. And this tiny little garden behind my house, it's about 1.5 feet by 24 feet. I ended up getting well over 100 pounds of produce. So I feel like it was a great year. And next year we're gonna make an even bigger garden, but I will still always continue this little garden here because it's low maintenance, it's easy to keep up with, and it produces a lot of vegetables.